Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to do an unboxing today of something slightly different. This is a bit of a change from the usual stuff because it's not in the shrink wrap. That is, however, because the Operational Studies group does not shrink wrap their stuff. This is Napoleon's Wheel. This is the latest in the Library of Napoleonic Battles series. This is volume 10. Those are being released not exactly in series order as far as I can tell, but this is kind of a key piece because it contains the Danube campaign, specifically the Battle of Austerlitz. So let's see what we get here. So first thing we see we have two decks of cards. Now the cards are optional, and I believe I heard from OSG that they are making these universal between the games, as opposed to varying from game to game. So we'll set those aside for now. Let's pull this out. We have some maps, and I've always found these maps to be very attractive. This is the Ulm map right here. Let's give you as good a look at it as we can get in the amount of space that I have available at this time. What is the scale? This is, it doesn't say on here. It's relatively small scale, though. It's something like 500 yards per hex. I'm saying that from memory. We have the city of Ulm over here, which you can see at this scale is fairly large. And the river, this is the Donau going through here. We have another map, which is not full-sized. This is the Durenstein map. Here you have Durenstein, Krems. This river is the Donau as well. And this is just like a 11 by 17 map here. We have another map. This is a half-size map. This is the Hollabrunn Schoengraben map. And we have Schoengraben here in the middle. And here's Hollabrunn. And if this matches the typical presentation of these games from OSG, then these maps will all link together. This is presumably Austerlitz. It is. And here is Austerlitz. Like I said, I've always found these maps very attractive. These are by Charlie Kibler. We have, hopefully you can get it in the shot here, we have the city of Austerlitz down here. This matches the maps in the rest of the series. And the games are all about the same size. This game has 4 battles in it. Some of them have 5 or 6. Hasloch, Elkingen, which I've never even heard of, Durenstein, Schoengraben, and Austerlitz. Austerlitz, of course, being Napoleon's great triumph. Counter sheets. We have what looks like 2 counter sheets on a fairly thick brown core stock. This guy, French units and leaders, and then coalition units and leaders. So we have presumably the Austrians. These are going to be the Russians. Russians are at Austerlitz as well. And then, of course, the French, and what are probably some kind of French allies. I don't recognize any of the names there. These are probably French allies as well. Pretty sharp. I know that some people, not including myself, have had issues with some OSG counter sheets being a bit fuzzy. That does not appear to be the case here. This is, by the way, a friend's copy, not my copy. It's on my list of things to get, but things are, weird right now, so I'm unable to buy what I would like to buy. But I definitely want this one in particular. We have a 24-page series rule book. Fairly large print. They've definitely upgraded this since the last game in the series that I have picked up, which I think the latest one I have is actually Napoleon's Last Gamble. This is essentially the old Napoleon's Last Battles rules with some extra chrome on top. I've played a very little bit of it. We played like a scenario from one of the games. And I liked what I saw of it. It's got some interesting movement rules. Here is the study folder, which I want to say corresponds to playbook. Ulm, Durenstein, Schoengraben, and Austerlitz. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like this is where the scenarios are. It actually looks like we have a bunch more scenarios other than the 4 battles. Yeah, that doesn't appear to be the case. We've got some approach to battle scenarios which cover the kind of approach to battle for that particular engagement. Yeah, there's some mini campaigns in here. This looks like a nice complete package, plus a big campaign game, which probably uses all the maps, would be my guess. This runs from 11 October at 2 p.m. to 2 December. These are one-day turns, is that correct? Let's verify that, because we're going to have some more to talk about this game. A two-player simulation of Napoleonic battles at the grand tactical level. You can play each game as an individual set piece or undertake a campaign. The map, 525 yards per hex, or 480 meters. And each day is divided into 2-player turns, subdivided into 4 players. So it's essentially daily turns. So that's the playbook. Take a look at the quite large stack of player aid cards. So interestingly here we have a little inspection sticker, inspected by Caveman Andy. Thank you, Caveman Andy. We have an update, as we are calling it errata now. Here's the cat. Let's get him off of here. He is starved for attention because everybody's stuck at home. And Papa's not giving him enough attention. So let's see what we got here. So we have the combat tables here, a little 4-page folio thing with the TEC and some event tables and some processes as well, which is kind of nice. We have a sequence of play. This looks like a photocopy quality to me. The rest of it doesn't, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Victory worksheet. Looks like we have one of these for each battle, which is neat. This is the card stuff. So we would basically, this page anyway, we would, these are the cards that we would play with. This tells us which cards to remove from the deck if we're playing specific battles. And then this one is scenario parameters. So it does look like we have a total of 10 scenarios here. Well, 5 scenarios actually. Here's another some more victory worksheets. These are the same ones. They look like it. And then here is, oh wow, okay. Here's a big stack of stuff here. So here's the cards folio. And this is in the older ones that I have as well. It's a 4-page little fold-out to use the optional cards. I think in the long run, I think the cards are something that you'd probably want to play with if you're into this series. I'd probably leave them out for first couple plays. So here's the Haslock Day of Battle turn record track. Here's the Campaign Lull record track. Now these appear to be hourly turns, which makes more sense based on the scale, to be completely honest about it. If they're 500 yards, hexes are 500 yards across. Here's the Elchingen approach to battle. Here's the day of battle. Michaelsburg, Dernstein. These are all just different turn record tracks for different scenarios. Here's the Austerlitz card for both the approach to battle and the day of battle. And here are some super tiny. I want to say these are the setups. Yes, that is correct. Boy, get your reading glasses out for these. Jeez, okay. The print's the paper stock's pretty nice, and they're single-sided, which is also handy because you don't have to like turn your card over so the other guy can use the other side. The paper stock is fairly nice, but the print's pretty tiny. Here's the casualty record tracks for the French and the Coalition. Here's a weather record track. Presumably you put a counter on here. Here's another thing with the combat tables. Nice cardstock. This is fairly decent cardstock. Here are some holding boxes, some very unfancy holding boxes. And here's Fog of War. So these also relate to the cards. So there are Fog of War cards, apparently. And I know that officially you are encouraged to use the Fog of War rules here, up to and including putting your counters on the little counter sleds. I like the Fog of War idea, and the backs of the counters generally have the national flags on them, so you can do that without the sleds. The sleds, I feel, are kind of expensive for what they are. I mean, they're wood, they're nice, and all that. And you can get them from OSG, but I think they're a little expensive to get enough to play one of the big battles with, like, say Waterloo or Leipzig or something like that. So that is Napoleon's Wheel, the latest from OSG. I need to get off my behind and get the money together to get this thing ordered. This is a campaign of particular interest to me. So it's something that I would like to add to my collection as well. I want to thank you for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed it, and please subscribe to the channel. Check out the Patreon, it is linked in the video description. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming.